Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out this week. I actually get to see it tonight as you guys are watching this video, so my full review will be up tomorrow. But in this tier list, we're going to be diving into most likely cameos to happen to least likely. I love doing types of videos like this so you guys can come back and see how wrong I was, or in general, just have some fun. So make sure to leave a comment down below on what your guys' thoughts are on this. Which cameos do you want to see? As well as hit that like and subscribe button because we have tons of Doctor Strange content coming up this week, and I guarantee a lot of you will want to stay tuned. So jumping right into this tier list, I grabbed a random one that looked to have the most characters that many people were thinking could possibly be in this film. And truly enough, starting with this, let's start with one of the most obvious that many people have been suggesting, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I want this to happen, but I do not think it will happen. A lot of that goes to, I actually don't think a lot of these cameos will be in here. I think we'll probably get around 11 to 15 cameos, some being gigantic ones that none of us could ever guess in our lives. Other ones being, yeah, sure, that would be cool. But I think it would really much come down to be is that we are probably going to get a Secret Wars eventually, and that's where a lot of these cameos will come in. But as of right now, I think we'll get some alludes to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but we will not see him. And if we do see him, it'll just be him in the suit. We won't see his actual face. Next up, we have Blade. Blade is an interesting one because we know his movie is coming out soon, but I don't think he's going to cameo in Doctor Strange. If he's going to cameo in a series coming up, I do believe it'll probably be in the finale of Moon Knight this week. Watch me be completely wrong on that, but I am going to put this one is I want to happen, but I don't see it happening at all. Next, we have Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. For me on this one, I think this one is a no way in hell. Now, there's nothing against Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I love him. He's my favorite interpretation of Spider-Man itself, but I don't see him coming back for this. I don't see any reasoning to even have him in here as well. Next, we have Sue Storm, Jessica, who played the original Fantastic Four. This one is, again, a no way in hell. Do not see this happening. You know, maybe if we do get the Mr. Fantastic from that world, maybe we get a reference, I guess, but I don't see it happening, and I think many of you guys will agree with that. And a lot of these, I really don't see happening, to be honest. Like, let's jump into, just jump into a random one. Rogue from the XMen cartoon series. No way in hell we see this, and it would be cool, but I don't see it. And same thing goes for the Gambit. I just don't see it. I see that we're going to an animated world, but I don't think we're going to spend too much time in there. But don't get me wrong, if X-Men 1990s come in, I might shit my pants of excitement. Like, we already know certain things that we're getting with Professor X in here, which, obviously, this is the most obvious one. Let's grab Professor X and put the will happen. We've heard his voice in the trailer. We've gotten confirmation of that. That is a 100% definitive. Is it going to be the same version? Probably not, but it is a variant version of him, and that's going to be fun, at least for that part. But just as I said, these 90s X-Men animated series versions, a lot of people were predicting maybe we'll see them. I personally don't think we will. But watch me be wrong. Next, we have Leonardo DiCaprio's Spider-Man. And for people who don't know, it's supposed to be Spider-Man back in the day, and that just ended up never happening. But of course, Leonardo DiCaprio's Spider-Man will no way in hell happen, but could be cool to see if it did. Next one, let's do one that I think I want to happen so much, but it won't, and that is Deadpool.
Oh, hello.
Now, I actually believe that they probably had an idea for Deadpool to be in here, but I sadly do not think it worked out, or in general, maybe they just changed their mind when they do want Deadpool. If he is in here in any capacity, I imagine it would be an end credit scene. Doctor Strange is opening up different portals to kind of see what's going on, and Deadpool's right there with, I don't know, Domino and Cable. But, again, I could be completely wrong on that. Next, we have, let's randomly pick Edward Norton's Hulk. No way in hell could happen. It would be cool, but I think him and Marvel did not leave on the best of terms, and I just don't see it happening. Same with, of course, Eric Bana's Hulk. Again, no way in hell. I don't see us having a Hulk in this film for any sort of reason. And if we do see a Hulk, it definitely won't be either or of these. I think it would be a Mark Ruffalo variant version of the Hulk, or hell, maybe even Red Hulk at that point in time. It would be cool to see. Next, I'm going to just guess Magneto. This one is one that could happen, but probably won't. I think if it is him, it will not be Ian McKellen. I actually do believe that this one would be Michael Fassbender. But again, I think this is one that, again, I could see it happening just because of the ties to Wanda, but it will not happen. And, you know, again, I could be wrong. We'll have fun with that in that discussion. Let's do another one that we know is confirmed for this, and that is Peggy Carter. We know this one will happen. There were rumors for such a long time. Then we got that TV spot, as well as her shield in the poster. If this one were to happen, like, if in that TV spot that was not Captain Carter, I would be absolutely shocked. This one, I feel like, will definitively 100% happen. And I'm excited for that because I love Captain Carter, I love Peggy Carter, and Haley Atwell deserves the entire world. Next one we have is Black Bolt. Now, Black Bolt, for people who don't know, is a character from the Inhumans, from that terrible Inhumans show, but the Inhumans are pretty cool characters in the comics. I believe there were probably thoughts to put Black Bolt in here, whether it was that actor or whether it was a new actor or something of that nature. Same thing with Namor. I do still think, and Namor is not on this list, but Namor is another character that I wouldn't be shocked if we do end up seeing, since there are so many rumors that he is in Black Panther 2 as well. So for Black Bolt, I'm actually going to say it will happen. Now, I'm only saying this because I don't know what actor will portray him. I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. But if he is in there, he is a part of the Illuminati. We know the Illuminati is in here. I can see it happening just for a quick scene or something of that nature. And it would be pretty cool in my opinion. As well, jumping into another Illuminati member is Tom Cruise's Iron Man. I want this one to happen so bad. And it could still happen, but probably won't. But I'm going to leave it in, I want to happen, but it won't happen. And I say this because I believe there's probably going to be an Iron Man variant in here. I think a lot of us are theorizing that. We have nothing from the trailers to indicate that other than the Ultron sentient robots that are being controlled. I actually think Professor X is probably controlling those with his mind. But let me say this and let me say it. Tom Cruise, for people who don't know, that was supposed to play Tony Stark back in the day. Would have been awesome, but we never got that to happen. And I think in here, if it were to happen, it would be pretty damn cool. I just don't see it happening. And if I'm wrong, I will be so damn happy, but it won't happen, and it sucks for that matter. Next, we have Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Could it happen? Yeah, sure. But I do not think. I think they probably did ask Hugh Jackman, hey, would you want to come back for this small little role? And I think Jackman's in a different part of his life where he doesn't want to do roles like this. I think he loved Wolverine. Wolverine went out on that high note. And Patrick Stewart definitely said the same stuff about Professor X, but this is a different version. Now, if they do Secret Wars down the road, I could totally see Hugh Jackman coming in to play Wolverine just for a small little role. In this film, though, no way in hell. I just don't see him coming in here unless they end up going to the Fox world or something like that. Next one, let's do Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Another one that I think no way in hell is going to happen, but there were reports that they did ask him at the very least. So could it have happened? Yeah, sure, but I just don't see a reason of why they would even put him in here at the very least. I just don't even see how he would correlate to the story or what it would add. And I do believe and I trust in Kevin Feige and Sam Raimi to make those choices to what these cameos will do and how they will actually affect the story and what they will do going forward. Which, that's where I actually want to go. Norman Reedus is Ghost Rider. Another one that I want to say will happen. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say, maybe it's not Norman Reedus, but I do think that we are going to get a Ghost Rider version in here. I think they've been wanting to slowly bring that character into the MCU, especially if they're starting to set up the Midnight Suns with, say, Moon Knight joining that team or whoever else may. And screw it, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Ghost Rider will be in this film. And if he's not, damn, I'm wrong on that, and we can all have fun in the comment section discussing that, but I really do believe that. I think Norman Reedus has kind of teased it for a while. I think Ghost Rider is a character a lot of us have been looking forward to, and when this film is kind of dealing with some of the demonic natures of Scarlet Witch and other variant versions of Doctor Strange out in the multiverse, you could easily pop in a Ghost Rider here and there. Don't think he'll be a part of the Illuminati, but maybe when you're going to a different world, which there is Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, who is another character that could it happen? Sure. Will it happen? No way in hell. That's where I do want to go to. Let's start marking out some of these ones that no way in hell will happen. I think Mystique's Jennifer Lawrence, hell no. Never gonna happen in a million years. Do not see that happening. She hated being in this movie, or in the XMen movies, and she really does not. I doubt she ever wants to come back. Next one we have is Randall Park. I can't remember. Agent Wu, I think. He is also not going to happen to be in here. Same thing with, let's see, where is Darcy? Darcy is another one. Could they reference it? Sure. Probably not, though. I just don't see them bringing her in. Same with Monica Rambeau. I think the next time we do end up seeing her will either be Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel 2, or maybe even Secret Invasion, which would be pretty cool. Whatever comes out first, we know Miss Marvel is, though. So, next after that, we have a Chris Evans Hydra Captain America. This is a really interesting one to put in, and I'm going to say this one could happen, but probably won't. I don't see why it would, or why the reasoning to have a variant version of Chris Evans as Captain America in the context of this story and what they are truly giving us. I think a lot of these cameos will most likely come from that Illuminati scene and all these characters that are teaming up. From my knowledge, I don't think Captain America as the Hydra agent is one of those Illuminati members from the comics, so I don't see them putting it in here either. Another one we have is we have White Vision and we have Normal Vision. Now, for this one, I don't see us getting... I'm actually going to say this. I think we could get the original Vision in a version of Paul Bettany in there. Whether it's a different variant version world of a what-if scenario of what if he was still alive. But that's where I'm going to go say the white version of Vision, I think we will happen to see. End credit scene and all, that is something that I do think that we could possibly indicate to, and I think would be kind of fun to see how that goes. Next one, we have Beast. No way in hell happening. Let's go. Cyclops. No way in hell happening. Chris Evans as Human Torch. Hell no. I'm going to say Ian Groffs. I think that's his name. I don't think he's going to be Mr. Fantastic. I don't think he's going to be in here. Quicksilver, Ralph Boner. I'm going to say could happen, but probably won't. I think that one is another one of those where we saw him in WandaVision. Do you bring him back in to maybe rectify that choice of Ralph Boner? Because as for me, it rubbed me the wrong way, and I know many other people it did not work that well for others.
Boner.
Oh, $611 million for my little therapeutic experiment.
The Thing, hell no is that not, I just do not see that happening. Same thing with Sophia Turner's Dark Phoenix. I don't see her coming in. I would be greatly surprised, but again, don't see a reasoning for her story. Now this is where another one, Ian McKellen, I know I just said I don't see him coming back as Magneto, but it could happen. I just don't think it probably won't happen. Now, we got a couple others. Let's throw Storm in the No Way in Hell. I don't see Halle Berry coming back. Again, don't see a reason for her character to come back, but, you know, could be right, could be wrong. This is where we kind of get down to the nitty gritty. Now, again, some of these characters that I still am predicting are going to be in here, will possibly be in here. I think, obviously, one of the variant versions of Mordo is in here. I think Namor, again, is a suggestion who was not on this list. And maybe even a version of Black Panther. Like, maybe Michael B. Jordan's playing a nicer version of Killmonger for this scenario. Who knows? And I want to know if you guys think this. I truly believe that Chadwick Boseman was probably going to play Star-Lord T'Challa in here. And it still breaks my heart because I think that would have been really cool to get a live-action version of him. But jumping into here, one that I think is starting to really much fire up and will happen is Mr. Fantastic, played by John Krasinski. The rumors have circulated for a while, and while maybe it's not John Krasinski playing him, I'm starting to believe it is because he met with Marvel a while ago. Maybe it was to direct a movie, maybe it wasn't. It's just everything's indicating that he's probably in this movie. And if it's not John Krasinski, I do think there is a version of Mr. Fantastic. They're going to be eventually bringing in the Fantastic Four, whether this is our first introduction with that character or maybe this version of him dies and it's a completely different actor playing him down the road. I think this would be really cool and just something that's serviceable to the fans of a fan casting too there. And if he does pop in here, wouldn't be shocked if, of course, his wife Emily Blunt is playing the Invisible Woman as well. Now we have Quicksilver, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. This is one I'm actually going to put in the I want to happen, but it won't. And I say that because I love Aaron Taylor Johnson so much. As an actor, I'm really interested to see what he does with Kraven, even though I'm not really that excited for the movie. But anytime this guy appears in something, it is something that I absolutely love his performance every single time. And I'm hoping that he has maybe an emotional arc, because if you have read House of M or Avengers Disassembled, which is very much some of the parts of this film looks to be based off of, it is so important that Pietro is a part of it. And I think it would be a very important arc for, of course, our Wanda. And I just hope that, you know, he gets a little bit in there. But again, I don't see him coming in here. And that's another one we have is Agatha. Another character that I want to happen to come in here. I just don't see it happening. I don't see a reasoning unless it's a flashback back to Westview. She's getting her own show. I imagine that's when we will see her next time. And where they left her off in WandaVision, there's just not much more content for her to come in here. The next three characters we have are Loki characters. We have Sylvie, Loki, and Mobius. And I know a lot of people are probably going to wonder, what about Kang? I don't see Kang being in here. And that's where I'm actually going to go and put all three of them in the probably won't happen category. I believe that maybe they were thinking about putting them in here. But in the reality of what it is, I think what's happening in Loki, while it could possibly be affecting this, will not affect it correlating completely. And that's where I'm going to go and think Loki, Sylvie, and Mobius, while could happen, but probably won't. And that's where I just go as far to say, I think the only cameos that I for sure feel good on in this, and just kind of running down the list, is Professor X, Captain Carter. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Black Bolt from the Inhumans. I'm really going to go out on a limb and say Ghost Rider, specifically Norman Reedus, White Vision, and then a variant version of Mr. Fantastic, whether this is John Krasinski or not. And then the rest, as you can see, there's a lot on here that I just do not see happening. As for ones that didn't appear on this list, like I mentioned, I think Namor is possibility one of the biggest ones, a Black Panther variant as well, maybe being a part of the Illuminati.
While editing, my dumbass completely forgot to mention Maria Rambeau, who is most likely playing a variant of Captain Marvel. She will definitely be in this.
Honestly, if we're just going to pick one other random cameo that I think possibly could happen in here, maybe a Mads Mikkelsen from Caecilius, maybe a better version of Caecilius, or even the ancient one, Tilda Swinton. Those are two other characters that could easily pop up in here. But besides that, that is going to be my Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Most likely cameos to happen to least likely. Lots of people are expecting a lot of cameos. I don't think there's that much, so I'm checking my expectations right now. Again, look forward to my review coming out tomorrow morning, and then a ton of other Doctor Strange content. Tons of stuff coming up. You'll find all those links down below and up above. Hit that like and subscribe button. Head on over to Sam's Fun Films on how to see films early. And of course, until next time, stay classy.